5 Steps to Make a Good Ad, starring Gage, Lucas, Taylor, filming and editing done by Matt. First, let's see what a bad ad looks like. Now, let's look at 5 general steps on how to make a good ad. First, let's talk about the length of the video. In general, you should keep it short, ideally around 90 to 120 seconds. Remember, if your product is straightforward, a minute or less can suffice. However, these are just a general idea, so don't feel forced to abuse or follow the time constraints to the letter. The most important thing is that you grab your audience's attention in the first seconds. Next up is the scene. You want to make sure the background is free of clutter, nothing to distract the eyes, nothing to keep something off the product. You want the product to be the center of attention. And if you're using fonts, you want to make sure they are readable and consistent. You don't want to use something that's hard on the eyes or too small. You want to check for errors consistently as you're filming and correct them as soon as possible. A good tool to help with this setup is a green screen, as it allows you to change the background into something more pleasant or relevant to what you're trying to sell. Next up is the product, the most important part of your ad. Your product should be seen clearly. You want it to be center stage and everyone should see it. If your product has a logo, it should be easily recognizable and memorable. You want to give a demonstration of what your product can do or its key points. Your logo should also be able to give a general idea of what your product does, such as the Burger King logo being a straight burger, or the old Coca-Cola label actually having a Coca-Cola bottle on it. Next up are the actors. They are the ones who will set the tone of the advertisement. You want the tone to be fairly consistent to what you're trying to sell. Your actors should be expressive, but not overly expressive. You do not want them to detract from the product or service you are trying to sell. You also want your actors to be able to cleanly and quickly show off the product you are trying to sell in a short amount of time. This is to show the ease of access that the product offers and their expertise on the subject. Lastly, getting the product out there. This is the most important step, as this is the part where you actually send your ad out there for people to view. During this process, you want to make sure you know why the people would want your product. You want to make sure that you have contact information so people can contact you should they want to buy your product or if they have questions about it. Ideally, you would be using social media to spread the news about your product and share your ad. It is the ideal platform for you, and you can use multiple different outlets to share the product. You can use places such as Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook to share your ad and build up buzz about the product you are trying to sell. Congratulations! Following these 5 steps now mean you can make your own ad for your own product.